Hello everyone, this is the Hardcore Show live. This is basically a take two because of my stupidness and not turning on the audio out capture. It did not capture the YouTube sound coming out of the videos, so I'm starting over very shortly. Well, hello. Like I was saying in the intro, I was rushing around and I was playing with Streamlabs OBS, and somehow I clicked off the audio out capture, which when I pull up the YouTube channel up on top, you won't hear the audio unless I click it. Well, I didn't click it, and at 6 o'clock today I ran my very second ever podcast, and basically I needed a mulligan because I took it down almost everywhere, because up in this window area here, I'll show you, in this window area here, you could not, when I played this video, you would see it playing but no voice, and then I couldn't react to it and talk about it. So I'm just going to start this over. Up in the, for you, it'd be the, I guess, left-hand corner over here. I'm going to be talking about today is, right now it is, I did this originally at 6 p.m. Eastern time. It is 11:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7/20/2020, and this is take two. Sorry for all the inconvenience. So today, or yesterday and today, there's been some more breaking news about Epstein, Ghislaine, whatever, how you say her name, Maxine. So these two people, part of the pedophile and extortion ring, and some new stuff has started. So I know I'm already messing this all up. I did it perfect, I believe, except for the audio. So up here in the corner, you'll see that this is a guy named Tim Pool. He's not really lefty. He's not really righty. He's getting in trouble with the left a lot because he's kind of telling the truth. So I'd recommend that you just give him a chance, maybe prescribe to him. But he's going to talk about what the latest things are happening. So let's cross our fingers. You'll be able to hear him.
They're getting desperate. I don't know exactly who. I don't know for what reason, but they are getting desperate. Yesterday evening, a man dressed in a FedEx uniform knocked on the door of the house of a federal judge. Her 20-year-old son answered the door and took a bullet through the heart. His father apparently was shot multiple times, critical but stable condition. The judge herself was unharmed. The big news here is that this judge is presiding over a case related to Epstein's finances, and that's why I say they're getting desperate. Ghislaine Maxwell, however you pronounce her name, she's been arrested. She might squeal like a pig, but they can't go after her, can they? I don't know who they is. I don't know what's going on, but I'm telling you this right now. An assassin dressed like a FedEx driver just targeted the home of a federal judge presiding over an Epstein financial case. When Jeffrey Epstein was first arrested, the joke went wild. And I say joke, I kind of don't really know if it was a joke for a lot of people. They were saying that Epstein would, invariably take his own life. Some people joked and said, when it invariably happens, are we going to riot? and then it happened. And everybody wanted to know why. But the camera broke. The guards were asleep. Nobody knows what happened. I'm sure some people do, but the public doesn't. When they arrested Maxwell, people started making jokes. I tweeted, in before she gets COVID. What will happen to her? I don't know. But if something did, it would be much too overt. Most people, whether you want to accept it or not, do not believe that Epstein took his own life. Most people, they believe Maxwell is at risk. I remember this funny tweet from Chris Reagan when the news broke. He said he got into an Uber and the driver looked at him and said, yo, that dude didn't kill himself. And it was funny. It's like the random Uber driver. What do you think now? Son of federal judge killed. Husband shot at their New Jersey home. Motive unclear. Now, I'll say it's fair that we don't know if this is over the Deutsche Bank Epstein case. We really don't. But I kind of think like it is, you know? I mean...
Okay, so when he put this out earlier this morning about the alleged shooting of the judge's son who got shot directly in the chest, and the husband who got shot all up, who's in intensive care and, very serious. I guess the judge, the woman, she was down in the basement at the time this all occurred. A person posing as a FedEx delivery person came to the door. The son answered it, and he was shot directly into the chest, and they proceeded to shoot the husband. Then we find out, what you'll hear a little bit more in another video I'm going to show you. We find out today, this happened yesterday, what we find out today is that this judge, she's, like he says, going to be trying the case and finding out where all this money to Epstein, and where's all this going, and where's the rabbit hole going, and how far down does it go. Thing you're going to find out is that today we find out that the guy who shot everybody, the quote-unquote FedEx person, was found today dead, self-inflicted gunshot wound. But the twist is that he was a lawyer. Now, he's a lawyer dressing up as a FedEx person to go to someone's house and kill people. She is judging and trying. This woman judge is trying about all Epstein's finances and everything. What does a lawyer, which Greg Gutfeld from Fox 5, when they did the 5 o'clock, Fox News 5, he says that when he heard the name, he knew it. And the name is Ray Dean Huller or whatever. This guy, he knew of him because he was suing one of his friends, a comedian, and said that this guy was a lowlife. And this guy just did all this. Now he's conveniently dead. So let's go further down the rabbit hole. But just to let you know that, chances of this being the way that it is. There's some other stuff I'll talk about, but let's hear it.
Yeah, this is only speculation. But it really does feel like whoever is going after the judge in this way is truly desperate. Now, Styx Hexenhammer, you may be familiar with, had a very interesting tweet. He said the goal was not to harm the judge. If the judge was shot, they'd get a new judge. You need to scare the judge. But I think it goes actually a little bit further than this. You don't start by targeting the family of the judge. You first ask, hey, we'll grease the wheels. When that doesn't work, you threaten. You'll regret it if you oppose us. And when that threat it falls upon deaf ears, you take action, but not against the judge themselves. Sounds like maybe they were trying to get this judge to do something. And this is the extreme pressure of if you come for us, we come for you. I mean, look, I can't tell you what's true. Here's what I can tell you what's true. Her son's dead. Her husband was shot. And it was an assassin dressed like a FedEx guy, and they haven't caught this individual. Who did it? Why did they do it? What did it pertain?
Now, just so you know, At that time, they hadn't caught him yet, the individual. Tim Pool did not know that this individual was actually a scumbag lawyer and probably into some shady shit. Pardon the French. And he didn't know this at the time, and knowing that, so let's keep going.
We really, really do not know. But I will tell you this. Even Daily Beast is asking these questions. Did you know that Ghislaine Maxwell is being tried by the Public Corruption Unit? That seems strange to a lot of people because her case involves trafficking, which is held by you typically tried by violent crimes. I have this story pulled up once again by the Daily Beast. Mainstream news now asking these questions. If we are going to operate under these pretexts and assumptions, whatever is going on, we can see they're truly desperate. Now, of course, the left believes this is Donald Trump and Bill Barr trying to cover up their crimes. I don't buy it. I really don't. I think Bill Barr's on the level. I do. I mean, Bill Barr was AG before. He's AG now. I think he's on the level. So that's my bias. But I don't know who is doing what. I'm sure a lot of people will throw a bunch of names out. They'll comment a bunch of names. I don't know, man. Let's take a look at this story. Now, this from NBC New York doesn't mention the Epstein connection. It just says, son of federal judge killed, husband shot in New Jersey. But take a look at this. I pulled up Esther Salas's Wikipedia page, and they make note that she's presided over a notable public corruption case. Also, her involvement in the Real Housewives of New Jersey for some reason. And they say, Salas is the judge presiding over the class action lawsuit against Deutsche Bank, which alleges that Deutsche Bank had poor financial reporting practices and made misleading statements to securities investors, resulting from Deutsche Bank's desire to obscure its anti-money laundering deficiencies and its poor monitoring of high-risk customers, such as Epstein, Danske Bank in Estonia, and FBME. What is going on with this money? Who's getting paid what?
Okay, so basically what he's saying is that the woman judge, who her son was killed, shot directly into the heart by a fake FedEx person, and the husband was shot all up. She's a judge, and she's been testifying on this Dutch bank and doing other things. Plus, she's doing the Epstein thing. Well, we also find out that her husband is a lawyer, and he pretty much does defense lawyering. So he's done a lot of, let's just say, corruption and gang related, try to get people off and stuff. So let's continue.
And will we get to the core of what's really happening? I don't know, especially after this. Will Judge Esther, will she be strong enough to push through after her son was shot through the heart and killed? I can only hope so. And I can only hope that she's doing well and that her husband survives this. And I hope whoever perpetrated this is brought to justice. We cannot allow this. This is gangster level conspiracy stuff, man. Look, we talk about the Epstein stuff in relation to this. Who knows, man? You know what we do know? An assassin was dressed like a FedEx driver and went after a judge's kid. This is the kind of stuff that comes out of movies.
Terrible.
Let's read from the Daily Beast. Gunman kills federal judge's son, wounds husband at NJ home. Judge Esther Salas, best known for presiding over a Real Housewives case, was tasked last week with a case involving Jeffrey Epstein's secretive dealings with Deutsche Bank. So we know, I've gone over this. They say Daniel Anderl, 20, the judge's only child who was home from college, was shot through the heart and did not survive the attack. His father, criminal defense lawyer Mark Anderl, 63, was said to be in critical condition after the surgery. The FBI confirmed it is investigating. This was a kill shot. It was intentional. This was I know it's an assassin, but hear me out. They knocked on the door, and when this kid answered, they aimed through the heart. This was an intended shot through the heart. NBC New York reports U.S. District Judge Esther Salas was in the basement of their North Brunswick home during the ambush and was unharmed. NJ Advanced Media, quoting law enforcement sources, said the shooter may have been disguised as a delivery person when he approached the door. The FBI is investigating a shooting that occurred at the home of Judge Esther Salas in North Brunswick Township, New Jersey, earlier this evening, July 19th. We're looking for one subject and ask that anyone who thinks they may have relevant information to call them. Salas is the first Latina judge to serve in New Jersey's federal courts. She was appointed as a magistrate judge in 2006 and a district judge in 2010. Raised in New Jersey, she previously worked as a county prosecutor and then a federal public defender. Last Thursday, she was assigned to be the judge on a lawsuit brought by investors against Deutsche Bank and its CEO over its business dealings with the late convicted Jeffrey Epstein. According to federal court documents filed July 15th in Newark in the case, Deutsche Bank failed to properly monitor customers the bank itself deemed to be high risk, including, among others, the convicted offender, Jeffrey Epstein. The plaintiff is listed as Ali Karimi of Connecticut. On July 7th, Deutsche Bank was hit with a $150 million fine by New York State for failing to act on warning signs that Epstein was carrying out suspicious payments, among other violations, and announced last week that it would pay. The state has gone after them. Sounds like something crazy is happening, and who do you trust? What if Trump is the bad guy? What if he's the good guy? It reminds me of that scene, that trope in movies where you've got, identical twins, or like one's the evil clone. Which one is the real brother? And you have to pick. I lean towards Bill Barr being on the level and Donald Trump going after these people. Considering the fact that Epstein's been able to get away with this for as long as he did, and Maxwell was on the run, only under Trump the arrests have happened, I think it's the Trump administration that's doing the right thing. It's hard to know for sure. Seriously.
So one of the things he mentioned lightly through when he started talking about everything and reading this article, he talked about, I have a hard time saying her name, Maxwell, the madam, or I believe the top lady, was actually probably more powerful. She had all the connections. Then Epstein was probably just using his, using her for his own crazy desires, small children and stuff like that, pedophile. But Ghislaine Maxwell, I believe her name is Ghislaine Maxwell, she was arrested, like he said. But the problem is that when we saw El Chapo, when we caught him or brought him in, there was video everywhere. We also saw him when he was getting arraigned. We saw him in court. We saw pictures. Then, let's say Roger Stone. We saw people outside from the media before it even arrested him. Everybody got word, and it was all filmed. She got arrested, according by the FBI. No one has any pictures of this arrest. No one knows where she's at. People were speculating that she was in the second tower. People were speculating that she was in the second tower of the kind of same prison in the women's side. But I guess that's not true either. No one's seen a picture of him. They say she arraigned in court by video or something. Now, some friends of mine and some other people, way smarter than me, believe that she's not even in this country. She's either in Gitmo or something, because the deep state goes very deep. So I just wanted to bring you up to that we really don't know where she's at. We do hear that she's talking. And if she's talking, stuff like this, unfortunately, starts happening. A lawyer, I told you, maybe scumbag lawyer, whatever, is shooting people. Why? Why would he risk everything and then, quote unquote, shot himself today? Problem is that a lot of these things, if he was in trouble, he tried to take care of it, or he was told to take care of it. If he didn't take care of it, maybe they took care of him. These are not conspiracies, they're just questions. I'm just asking, and I'm just giving out answers, and hopefully while I'm giving questions, you're giving out answers. So let's continue, and then I'm going to go to another clip from another guy. Now, fair warning, this guy, pretty foul, but he's on the money, okay? And I'll apologize when he starts going off.
Prior to Sunday, Salas was probably best known for The Real Housewives. Yeah. Teresa Giudice's attorney, I think I'm pronouncing that right, told ABC News that her client was very shaken by the news, was very emotional when she heard about it. She told me that she would be praying heavily for Judge Salas and her family. So listen, with New York going after Deutsche Bank. It's only a matter of time before lawsuits like this emerge and people start filing for discovery. Documents start getting released. People who work for Deutsche Bank are subpoenaed. Testimony is heard, and people are put in very troubling positions. So why this action against her family? If the judge allows discovery, if the judge gives in, she'll have to recuse herself now even. I mean, that's another issue, which could be, well, they can't prove that this is related to the case. It could prejudice her, though, if they try to make that claim. What if she told, some Deutsche Bank executive that he had to speak up or his files would be released in court? It's not just about whatever potential Epstein. It's about criminal activity in general. It's about the collateral damage and the people around it. Whoever did this might have nothing to do with Epstein. They might just be some random money launderer who's thinking this case is going to trickle down to me at some point if these documents are released. It's more than just Epstein. Maybe that's why this happened. Maybe, to be honest, it was a crazy guy who dressed like a FedEx driver. Maybe it was somebody who wanted revenge because she used to be a prosecutor. We really don't know. A lot of people are jumping on the Epstein angle. Maybe. But like I said earlier, my understanding a lot of these circumstances, because I've known people who have dealt with similar tactics, is the first thing they offer you is the opportunity for compliance. I say they as in like anyone trying to coerce or blackmail you. You don't threaten first because that can cause a backlash. Typically, when it comes to these coercion, these instances of coercion, they try to get you to pay.
So one thing that Tim Pool, I told you, I would recommend you give him a shot, prescribe to him and everything. One of the things is that he's saying, hopefully, that she's strong enough to testify. I'm and other people are really hoping that the husband pulls through and that he maybe got a glimpse of this guy. Because if he started getting shot and was running, never got the hold of the guy, they could have anybody with dead and no one knowing anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? It would really be nice to know that the guy that they claim is the guy that shot himself, killed himself, is the right guy. Can't get that from the dead son, unfortunately. Can't get it from, if he makes it, but if he was in a running state, he probably has no idea. You're running for your life. You have no idea what you're doing. But I will say this. Maybe they couldn't get to a gun, but having a gun in a house, locked, but accessible, can turn things around. That's my teaching moment for you for right now. We're going to do this a little bit more, and then we're going to go to another video. Like I said, the guy is kind of crazy, but he makes some good points.
They'll offer you money. Hey, how about you, when you retire, you come work for us. We'll pay you all of this money. We'll give you a job as legal counsel. Doesn't that sound good? How many times have we heard about individuals who worked in the government or in some kind of political office and then got a job at some industry? It's the easiest way out. Most people will take it. Look, you get our back, we'll get yours. Once you retire here, we'll have a comfy 7-figure job waiting, and you'll never want for anything. And a lot of people probably say, sounds good to me. What happens when you don't? Then the threats. Look, we gave you a choice. We gave you the opportunity. Don't cross us or you will regret it.
Now, remember what he's saying, that some people will be, before they threaten somebody, they'll offer them money, things, positions. And you see that a lot. And people who don't get reelected for any type of government job, all of a sudden they're in a plush, thing, making millions. Well, I think the perfect example of nepotism would be that Biden, who is running against Trump, took Air Force Two plane over to the area, and that is where they had the gas company there, and the gas company, Biden set him up, and they went in and got him a job, making millions of dollars, like $88,000 $100,000 a month, making millions a year. And even when he was interviewed, Biden's son, I think his name's Hunter or something, he said, "Hey, I would have never got this job without my dad." It's just, the nepotism happens everywhere, and it's got to stop. So let's finish this up, and then I'll go to the next one.
And what happens when the threats don't work? Action. Then one day, your son answers the door and takes a bullet through the heart. Maybe that message was clear enough. The threats will be followed through. The risk here, though, however, and the reason why I say this is true desperation is because whoever did this, we don't know who, an assassin dressed as a FedEx driver apparently, whoever did this may have just cut loose the judge and released her from her bonds, her chains. You see, people are scared. The threats against someone's family should be enough for most people to refuse to do anything. How many times have I said, speak up to defend yourself? And I've seen comments and responses saying, but I have kids. This judge said, F you. Maybe there were no threats. I don't know. It's all speculation. But I've made it clear repeatedly. I personally will not be coerced. I won't. There's, let me stop for a second. Let me tell you something. When it comes to kidnappings in other parts of the world, notably in like the Middle East and North Africa, terrorists know that if you kidnap an American, Americans will not pay. We will not negotiate and we will not be coerced. In fact, what America likes to do is send in some commandos to kick in your door and kill every one of you and rescue that American. Thus, if you kidnap an American, your only guarantee is that you'll soon be facing down the barrel of a gun. Many other countries negotiate and pay. They're more likely to then be kidnapped because these terrorists know, hey, man, Spanish citizens, German citizens, that's cash money. Don't go for the Americans, though, because the Americans fight back. Now, what they did here.
So he's talking about that America doesn't pay terrorism. That's not exactly true because Biden did it a few times. He was crooked. And if you remember, Biden also gave Iran a ton of money inside a plane within 24 hours. Remember that. So we have had presidents do that, but not many, at least that we know of.
The reason I bring this up is that this has probably made her untethered. You see, when she had a family and she was being threatened, you could actually force or coerce the behavior, but perhaps it wasn't enough. And I'm speaking totally hypothetically, right? I have no idea what happened. For all we know, there's a crazy guy, like they're going to call him the FedEx killer, Could be totally unrelated to any of this. But let's just say somebody came and threatened her, and now she has no son. I can only imagine that the grief she is feeling will turn into a blind, seething rage, and there is nothing left tethering her to this earth. What I mean by that is they may have unleashed reckless abandon. This judge will now unleash everything at her disposal to go after whoever did this. Every favor she's been owed, every politician who would owe her something, every corporation, every individual, any former employee, the guy at the grocery store who stumbled and she picked up his groceries, every single person who might think of her as a good person who owes a favor, she can unleash all of that. That's why I say they have become truly desperate. When her son was at risk, that was when she might hold back out of fear. Not now. That's how scared they must be that this is going to become something big. They mentioned that Daniel Salas was a freshman at Catholic University in D.C. He was planning on going to law school, a friend told the New York Star Ledger. He had his whole future ahead. He was shot through the heart. His mother, Judge Salas, has handled the unusual mix of, gang violence cases, public corruption, trafficking, and other things that are going to get me in trouble on YouTube, so I'm going to have to blur that. Investigators have not released...
So, just so you know, I'm not exactly happy with the way the podcast is going. I believe I did it much better the second time, but he's saying he's got to be careful. No, this is Tim Cook. He's got to be careful. Not Tim Pool, not Tim Cook. That's Apple. Tim Pool. He's saying that he's got to be careful because if he says the wrong thing or talks about the wrong anything. If it's something that the mainstream media, YouTube, doesn't like, he's already been demonetized. He can't make any money for all the work he does. The only thing you can do is share his videos, and they're going to probably stop that. So I'm just saying that, but also the woman, she's got a rough road. She's got to make a decision, and I hope that she's under protection, because if they tried it once and it wasn't just random, which I don't believe it was, they're going to try it again. Okay, so I'm going to switch this out with another video. Let me see, is this the guy? Okay, so this is the guy. I'm going to get him back. I'll give you a warning. He's pretty out there, but he's on the money, but he's a little foul. So I apologize in advance.
Oh shit. Shit's getting real, boys. The deep state's panicking. I think what we're seeing right now is some massive flailing, screaming, and reeing from deep state operatives who know they in some shit with this Orange Man. Orange Man Bad is not screwing around with these people. A lot of people have been clamoring from our side, why don't you arrest these Antifa tards? Whoa, stop them from burning this stuff down. Listen, can't arrest these people. If you arrest these people, the Attorney General lets them right out the next day. Orange Man Bad is working on a deeper level. He is trying to go after big fish, and I think he's doing it by locking people like Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell up, because all of these deep state operatives, all of these scumbags in Washington, D.C., all of these Fortune 500 CEOs and board members, and all of these Hollywood pedophiles are all linked in one very creepy situation, friend. That's kid fucking. Right? That's human trafficking and kid fucking.
Yeah, like I said, apologize for the language. You could say it differently than that, but he's going right to the point. Apologize in advance. I told you earlier. But let's continue.
Fucking linking all these scumbags who are trying to push our country into communism together. And so Orange Man's not necessarily concerned about all of these twats setting Portland on fire, setting Seattle on fire. That's small fry. That's small game. No, we got to go after the people who are pulling the strings to get those scumbags into a situation where they're allowed to burn these cities down. And you do that by arresting pedophiles and locking them up. And Ghislaine Maxwell is key. She's got all the information. Crap, they're saying she's got videos of these people. She's the linchpin for arresting.
So you can see up there, there's Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Now they say she's talking, and quote unquote rumor mill is that she's got videos. Is this one of the reasons why some judges that might be involved are going to get this? I think some government people, definitely Hollywood people, and people of power that were involved in this, or the pedophile ring. I'm not going to use the word he used, but they're going to be worried. And hopefully that whoever Ghislaine Maxwell is, they've got her tucked away, and here she's talking, and hopefully something good can come of this, because this has got to stop. Other countries, I mean, remember, in certain countries, like China, it just came out today, they got proof that China is basically enslaving Muslim people, which is completely wrong. Completely wrong. They're sending them away in trains to like camps and stuff, and we got to talk about it. We got to say that this is wrong. No one should be in or kept as a slave. Everybody is a human being, and this is the way that we should all treat others as we want to be treated ourselves. So let's continue. Just remember, he might say some more things that I don't totally agree with, but I believe the base story is good.
Some entrenched deep state operatives, and now you're seeing a situation where a judge, last night, a judge who had recently been put on an Epstein case, just got her whole family lit the fuck up. Wounded the husband, killed her 20-year-old kid. She was in her basement apparently at this time. And this is not to be bought at face value. No one's falling for this shit. This was a message from the deep state. They can't seem to get to Ghislaine Maxwell. I think Ghislaine Maxwell is in either a supermax prison in Guam. I think they might have this chick in Gitmo. I don't even think she's in this country. We don't have mugshots of this woman. We don't know when she was actually arrested and detained. We don't know where she's detained at. It's all very wonky. I don't even think she's in this country.
So remember, I had told you this earlier. We had talked about this. They said she was arrested. And we're like, okay, they arrested her, and that. I remember she was in some kind of a state out in country. And when they invested in this state, this tucked away or whatever the place was called, tucked away valley or whatever this estate was, they don't know who owns it. She said she was allowed to go there by a friend, but no one knows anything. So she got arrested, and he's saying, we don't know where she is. This may be by design, because whatever you could think about going wrong with Epstein did. He was caught, paraded around, everybody knew where he was, and allegedly killed himself. If you know, there's a coroner doctor that actually was with JFK, and he's done a lot of these shows. He says that he didn't hang himself or choke himself to death. The bones inside the neck can only be broke from squeezing and tightening, which happens from strangling, not from a hang. So, I mean, I'm not sold on that whatsoever. And this gentleman right here is not sold on it either. I apologize again for his language, but let's see what we got.
And so, if you can't get to Ghislaine Maxwell, if you're Hillary Clinton, if you're Bill Clinton, Arkansas Associates, and you can't get a situation where you can walk in to that Supermax and hang this bitch, garrote her like you did with Epstein, well, maybe the next best thing is you start openly blasting judges. I mean, just blatantly. The deep state never operates like this. Whenever you have an insider or a whistleblower who leaks information, whenever you got any of these people who are turning on the Clintons, they never kill people out in the open. It's always, oh, that person, don't worry about that person. They were just hiking and they were mauled by a grizzly shark. Don't worry about that. Oh, that dude, that dude, don't worry about him. He shot himself 15 times in the back of the head. That's totally normal, everybody. Hey, that Epstein character? People hang themselves with toilet paper all of the time, you fucking Trump racist conspiracy theory bigots. They didn't go that direction with this situation. No, in fact, they went the complete opposite direction. They dressed a dude up as a FedEx driver, went up to the house, blasted it, didn't kill her, didn't kill the judge. That's how these scumbags work. This is some Costa Nostra shit. I mean, they killed her family and left her alive. This wasn't, they don't care about this. You're trying to tell me that this is a Deutsche Bank situation, a Jeffrey Epstein Deutsche Bank situation. Deutsche Bank doesn't kill people over money. These motherfuckers print money. They don't care. These people pay $1 trillion fines. They get caught doing all types of crazy shit. They're like, oh, IMF's going to fine us, boys. How much? $800 billion. They laugh at that shit. They go to the Federal Reserve and they go, give us $800 billion. And the Federal Reserve gives that to Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank then multiplies that by 10, pays off their fine, and then laughs at the fucking rest of us who don't understand how any of this bullshit fiat money works. The Deutsche Bank, these trillion-dollar, quadrillion-dollar banks, and people like Jeffrey Epstein and the people that he hangs around with don't give a fuck about money. Money's nothing to these idiots. Power, control, and keeping the secrets of their pedophiles.
So I just wanted to stop for a second. If you see in the video, you see a capital J and an E. This marking, subtle in the inside wall, is on every estate or whatever he owned. He liked to put his little initials on things, but kind of offset so that they would only know. You know, go to the building that has edged in the JE. This is super narcissist bullshit right here. This guy was a narcissist. I don't believe he was the main player. I believe that Ghislaine Maxwell was the puppet master. That's my opinion.
File rings. That's what's important. And that's the message that got sent with this situation. Not a single fucking person running Deutsche Bank gives a fuck about this judge. They're not afraid of this judge. No. The people who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked small children to are concerned about Ghislaine Maxwell. And they apparently can't get that chick again. I think she's in Gitmo. I think that chick is surrounded by fucking Marines or something at this point. And these people are like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Well, I don't want to go down the conspiracy lane, but he's talking about, Ghislaine Maxwell. She's, not here, maybe being protected by Marines. Remember, Trump, I don't know, 6 months ago or more, he created a whole new military force called Space Force. Rumors is that we don't need people in space. This is strictly Trump's military to call out in case anything goes down. He has his own military. So to stop coups, to maybe investigate, or maybe to hide away very important witnesses. This is just me saying it. I'm not saying, but I've heard things. So this is conspiracy. So take it with a grain of salt. Just don't choke on it.
Shit, what do we do? Well, let's just start openly blasting judges to send a message to the poor soul who lands this docket with Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm telling you, if I'm a judge and somebody goes, all right, Judge Salty, you're going to be on the Ghislaine Maxwell case. I'm like, I'm on vacation. I'm on fucking vacation. When you coming back? I don't know. I'm going to the moon. It's going to be a while. No way in hell I'm taking this shit. Or I need some Space Force motherfuckers guarding me at all times. Maybe we'll go hard at this. You need to find...
Remember what I said. Maybe I need some Space Force mother effers to protect me. See if I'm right or not. Time will tell.
Find a straight up base judge who's got nothing to lose. You gotta find a judge who's had their kid kidnapped. You need to find a judge who hates fucking pedophiles and wants to go full steam at these motherfuckers with the Ghislaine Maxwell situation. But there you have it, my friends. No, actually, no, you don't have it. I'm sorry. I was just putting this video together and we got so...
So what he's going to tell you is that he was putting the video together and he was recording it and making sure everything was right. And then the news broke today. So let's see what he's going to tell us, the latest news.
More breaking news. Apparently, the fucking assassin has now committed suicide. Now the mainstream media press is running out the fucking notion. Oh yeah, everybody, don't worry. This was just a totally random hit job, and now the fucking assassin just decided to commit suicide. Fuck you, no one's buying this. This fucking shit's crazy. I'm telling you, this whole thing smells like deep state. The fucking assassin now committed suicide. Fuck you, mainstream media press. The mainstream media press thinks everybody's fucking potato brained out there. No, get out there and start mocking these people. That's totally... You're gonna find out this motherfucker shot himself 4 times in the back of the head and then dragged his own dead body to a different scene. It's gonna be fucking insane. And then everybody who says the Salas assassin hashtag didn't kill himself are all gonna be mocked by Rolling Stone and CNN as stupid conspiracy theorists. Meanwhile, we're the only ones seeming to pay attention, right? You idiots in the mainstream media press keep trying to tell everybody that hashtag Epstein totally committed suicide. Eat our balls. We see what's going on. But there you have it. A woman assigned to an Epstein case gets lit. She doesn't even get lit the fuck up. Her family gets lit the fuck up. They kill her kid. The assassin then goes out and commits suicide himself. And the mainstream media press is like, nothing to see here. This is all totally normal. Fucking 2020 is fucking...
So you can see that people are awake now. People don't believe. Remember, I have a saying. Well, it was told to me a long time ago when I was just a kid. Believe nothing what you read, and only half of what you see, because everybody sees things differently, and the lines are blurred. So you really have to be sure. And manipulation is an old democratic and communist tactic. Keep people guessing, keep people scared. The coronavirus, it does not kill more people than the flu. We don't do anything. People that get the flu, we kind of separate and we give them medicine. This one, everybody has to wear a mask and everybody has to hide into their house. Como took a bunch of sick people and put them into old folks' home. And now the people that have their loved ones that died from COVID, because they already had underlying conditions, and Como brought those people in, are now suing him. So that's what we gotta, let's call a spade a spade. Okay, so let me see we're going to finish up this, and then I give a final thought, and I appreciate it. This was take 2. I know it's one that's good, but I just feel that I had to get it out. I did it earlier, then I played some video games, I played some streaming, and then came back. So
fucking incredible. Get ready for some more shit. You think you've seen everything? We've seen an impeachment. We've seen Wu flu. We've seen lockdown. We've seen massive race riot bullshit. We've seen meth gators and murder hornets, and now we're seeing fucking assassins committing suicide after they.
Oh, he mentioned about these hornets. Remember, they're supposed to be like 2 inches long or 3 inches long. And they were supposed to come and ravish the United States. That never happened. And you don't see anything about it because they had something else to, put out there. But making people afraid to go outside was one of the things. Let's just say there's bees that are 2 feet long, or wasps that can kill you in a minute. So that's one of the things that he's talking about.
They butcher a fucking judge's family. This is nothing. Wait till we get towards October, guys. It's going to get it's already off the chart. Get ready. It's going to be nuts. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Support the channel. If you want to be kept up to date on this nuts, we'll do some of that Clown World commentary for you. Hit that subscribe button and make way, because the salt must flow.
Okay. So, I would like to thank everybody for giving me the second chance on this particular situation. It was take 2. I don't think it was as good. I was a little bit more prepared, but when I found out that the video I was playing, it picked up my voice, but not the actual YouTube voice of the person explaining things, so I could react and talk about it. Apologize to everybody if you got that video. I try to take them down almost everywhere. I think it still might be up on YouTube. But peace out, everybody, and I'll catch you on episode 3. I'm home this week. My company decided to furlough me this week, so I've got some extra time on my hands.